Lil Durk just cannot catch a break. He is already facing 2 big charges for planning murders. One is for the death of Quan Rondo's cousin, El Poo, and the other is for the man who killed his brother, Stefan Mack. But now, there is a new rumor going around. Some people think he might have been involved in the death of Lil Jeff 2.at first. This might sound crazy, but there could be a reason behind it. Lil Jeff had a serious problem with one of Durk's artists, YFG Fatso. That beef might have played a big part in what happened to him. Another thing that's been going viral.
Another thing that's been going viral. You dissed Bloodhound Lil Jeff and
did him Bloodhound Lil Jeff him in the song. The details of Duro's involvement are crazy and you'll be surprised by. What we found is shocking. Lil Durk might be connected to Lil Jeff's death. Losing your life while trying to go after your enemies is a crazy way to go, and that is exactly what happened to Lil Jeff. His tragic death was caught on camera, and the whole world watched his final moments as he tried to take down his enemies. Many people saw how it ended, but some important details have stayed a mystery for almost a year, until now. New information has come out, and it could change everything people believed about his death. And at the center of it all is Lil Durk, the leader of OTF. To really understand what might have happened, we need to take a closer look at Durk's possible role in this shocking story. Involvement in Lil Jeff's death. We have to first talk about Lil Jeff's close affiliate Lil Shum and Durk's artist YFG Fatso, because just days before Lil Jeff was killed he was on IG Live rapping to Lil Sko's unreleased diss track aimed at YFG Fatso. What's crazy is that YFG Fatso and Lil Jeff used to kick it back in the day, a fact that YFG Fatso revealed on IG Live. You want to be technical, __. Me and Jeff used to kick it if. The feud with YFG Fatso became even more serious when he dissed Lil Jeff in a song. This has been going viral, and people everywhere are talking about it. In an interview, someone asked Fatso about the diss, saying, "You dissed Bloodhound Lil Jeff in that song. Where did all this start? How did things go so bad?" It turns out the beef was not even between Fatso and Jeff at first. It all started because of Lil Jeff's close friend, Lil Skoon. And the craziest part? It all happened because of song lyrics. Something so small turned into a serious problem, all because of words in a track. Bro, this was not even a real beef. It was not about anything serious. It was just about song lyrics. I am a really chill person, and to me, he was not even really mad over lyrics. Lil Durk's artist, YFG Fatso, said that
another thing that's been going viral. You dissed Bloodhound Lil Jeff in the song.
Skoon accused him of stealing lines from his song Nightcrawler and using them in Princeton freestyle. In short, he was upset over lyrics from a song that Fatso had already made. Fatso said, "You know Princeton freestyle, right?" And the other person agreed, Yeah, facts. His Nightcrawler track. But Fatso saw things differently. To him, the situation was not just about borrowed lyrics. There was more to it. Rapper he had been recording music without dropping for over a year, so his Princeton freestyle was recorded over a year before Lil Sko dropped Nightcrawler. "Oh, I just started dropping new songs all the other, __. Old as hell, like I got hell song I got a big catalog for, so I'm telling like gang I've been had this song before you." But the story took a surprising twist when Duro's Fatso said that Lil Skoon was actually the one stealing lyrics, not him. He said, "I know you took my lyrics. One of your homies just called me and told me that you sit at home listening to my music." He even said Skoon admitted it, saying, "Yeah, we mess with you, bro." When it was time to pick sides, Lil Jeff chose to stand with Skoon. This turned out to be a choice he would later regret. At that time, Fatso was one of the hottest rappers in Chicago, and he did not really care about the accusations. But Lil Skoon and Lil Jeff saw a chance to make the situation bigger than it really was. Instead of letting it go, they used it to get attention and clout. Using every chance he got to diss YFG Fatso for supposedly stealing his lyrics. "I ain't the who mad about lyrics, I'm that AT nothing for real. I got real life situations going on, so man I ain't try to really argue with you about no lyrics. That's why I never had really paid attention, but the __, was chasing it like Stacy and Get On Live and __, like you go to TikTok, __, see it hey on live. To many stolen lyrics was way too petty a reason to start a deadly beef over, and Lil Sko and Lil Jeff was creating drama for no real reason, just to get attention. One person commented, "In my opinion, Skoon and Bloodhound were just looking for a reason to start beef so they could make a name for themselves." Another person said, "This is like something from the 90s, a small argument over some lyrics turned into something much bigger." But things became even crazier when YFG Fatso and Lil Skoon ran into each other while visiting their friends in jail. However, when it really came down to it, Lil Scoon did not want any problems. He chose not to say anything to the OTF rapper and just let it go. __.
According to the rapper, he had been recording music without dropping for over a year, so his Princeton freestyle was recorded over a year before Lil Scoon dropped Nightcrawler.
I been made that song like a year before.
Years before that I didn't consider him, but even after this incident Lil Sco and Lil Jeff still went on the internet and dissed Fatso. To his credit, the OTF rapper tried to reach out to Sco and Lil Jeff to squash the beef before it got out of hand. Sadly, they wanted all the smoke, including going on IG Live to premiere diss tracks aimed at Fatso. Did I get out of the end? Just keep the hour was going on. Fatso was tired of hearing people talk about him. He said, I had their numbers. I was calling them like, bro, why do you all keep saying my name? But they did not care and kept going with it. Even though YFG Fatso clapped back through his music, the disrespect toward him did not last forever. In April 2024, Lil Durk made a big move that changed everything. He went on Instagram to share some huge news. YFG Fatso was one of 3 new artists signed to his record label, Only the Family, OTF. This was a big moment for Fatso's career and also had a major effect on his beef with Lil Jeff and Lil Scoon. Came privileges. Anyone who was beefing with Fatso was now beefing with OTF. Anyone who disrespected Fatso was now disrespecting OTF as a whole, and if there's one thing OTF couldn't take lying down, it was disrespect. So in late May 2024, when Lil Jeff played Lil Scum's unreleased diss track aimed at YFG Fatso, there was bound to be repercussions, and just 2 weeks later Lil Jeff would lose his life. On June 8, 2024, Lil Jeff alongside Q50 and another associate pulled up on the 6600 block of S Rhodes Avenue ready to slide on their ops. They had their target in sight, and Jeff was the first to act. He jumped out of the car and started shooting. His target ran, ducking behind a car before making a desperate dash up a porch and into a house for safety, but Jeff did not stop. He kept firing as he chased his target inside. What he did not know was that he was running straight into his own death. Someone inside the house fired back, hitting Jeff before he could even reach the steps.
I ain't finna really argue with some niggas about no lyrics. That's why I never had really paid attention, but the niggas was chasing it, like, stay seeing the get on live and shit.
Fortune as Lil Jeff lay on the pavement, the shooters finished the job. Reports say they emptied an entire magazine into him from above, making sure there was no coming back. Q50 and the other shooter fired back, but it was already over. There was no saving him, and just like that the crew abandoned him, hopping back in the car and speeding off, leaving Jeff behind in a pool of blood. By the time authorities arrived, the scene was littered with evidence. 58 shell casings scattered across the pavement. Lil Jeff had been hit 19 times. Even though Durk and OTF were not involved, there were rumors that they were planning to take out Scoon. But before anything could happen, someone else got to him first. Just 1 month after Lil Jeff's death, another tragedy took place. On June 7th, Scoon was shot and killed in the Chatham neighborhood. The shooting happened late at night, around 11:50 p.m., near the intersection of 89th Place and Langley Avenue. Lil Scum and his 16-year-old friend got into a heated argument with another individual. Words turned into threats, and in the blink of an eye, gunfire broke out. When the smoke cleared, Scoon was on the ground. His friend was also shot but managed to survive. Paramedics rushed Scoon to the University of Chicago Medical Center, but the damage was too severe. He did not make it. Meanwhile, police spotted a suspect running from the scene and started chasing him. As they ran, the suspect fired shots at the officers, triggering a huge emergency response. CPD, SWAT, and multiple police units rushed in. But in all the chaos, the gunman managed to escape. It is not hard to believe that Durk and OTF may have wanted to go after Lil Jeff and Scoon after they dissed YFG Fatso. Durk has always stood by his friends, and over the years, he and OTF have built a reputation for going after their enemies. Whether it was setting them up or paying others to handle it, they have been a problem for their rivals for a long time. Lil Durk does not play when it comes to protecting his people. Sometimes, he takes things too far, and that is one of the reasons he is now behind bars. After his best friend, King Von, was killed by Quando Rondo's crew, everything changed. Right-hand man El Tim Durkia wasn't about to give anyone a free pass. He wanted to see bodies dropping, and that's what he got. According to documents, Durk started plotting for Chu's death immediately after Val was killed. Rumors began to circulate that Durk had placed a bounty on Chu's head. Durk told OTF members that he would pay a bounty to anyone who would take part in killing Quando Rondo. Durk's cousin DeAndre Wilson also promised OTF members that anyone who took part in killing Quando would be. Durk made sure his people were rewarded with big music opportunities through OTF, which was not just a crew but also a record label. On August 18, 2022, federal court records revealed that Durk found out Quando Rondo was staying at a hotel in Los Angeles. He did not waste any time. He paid for his associates, DeAndre Wilson, Keith Jones, David Lindsay, and Asa Houston, to travel from Chicago to take care of business. Once they arrived in Los Angeles, they were ready to carry out the plan. They were met by Keon Grant, who had everything ready for the hit, from ski masks to guns and even cars. The
niggas just they all was going on Instagram and mind you, folks, I had these numbers. I'm calling these like, bro, why y'all live and shit keep saying my name and shit.
Jeff was determined to avenge Von's death. After tracking down Chu's SUV, the group followed the rapper to a gas station where they ambushed him and started letting off shots. Miraculously, Quando Rondo survived. However, his cousin Lil Pob wasn't lucky and he tragically lost his life in the ambush. But this wasn't the only time Dario was sliding for his homies, because even dissing his dead brothers was reason enough for him to. FBG Duck found out too late that there was no escape once his enemies came for him. On August 4, 2020, he was shot and killed on Michigan Avenue near East Oak Street in Chicago's Gold Coast neighborhood. The tragic event was caught on camera. Surveillance footage showed a black vehicle pulling up in front of a store. Suddenly, armed men jumped out and started shooting as Duck tried to run for his life. But there was no way out. The gunman hit him multiple times before rushing back into their vehicle. At the same time, a gray Chrysler, which was also part of the attack, sped away from the scene, leaving Duck for dead. CCTV footage also reveals that cops trail the Grady Chrysler to Oblock, although no arrests were made that day. Cops made a breakthrough in the case when gang members revealed on camera the reason they gunned down the Chicago rapper. He had dissed one of their dead homies, TR Roy, in his track Deadbeat just 1 month before he was killed. Like that, I don't know G, all I know don't about Troy or rest in peace do you don't say, __ about Troy. That's it. At first everyone, including the feds, believed that it was King Von had reportedly put a price on FBG Duck's head after Duck disrespected his late best friend. However, in an interview on Vlad TV, FBG Butter made a shocking claim that connected Lil Durk to Duck's murder. According to Butter, Durk was about to fly some of Duck's killers on a private jet right before they were arrested. He did not believe King Von had paid them, saying, "I do not think Von gave them money. I hate to say it, but those guys were caught at the airport on a private jet. Von is gone, right? So how were they paying for a private jet?" FBG Duck's murder is not the only one that Lil Durk and OTF have been connected to. It turns out Durk also went after the man who took his brother's life. Lil Durk's brother, D-Thang, was shot and killed early Sunday morning outside a strip club in South Suburban Harvey on June 7, 2021. For Dyke, revenge was the only thing that mattered. Word quickly spread that a man named Stefan Mack was responsible for D-Thang's death, and soon after, rumors began that Durk had put a price on his head. 1 year later, on January 7, 2022, Mack's enemies finally caught up with him. He was tracked down and shot dead at the youth center, Peace Center of Rosand, located at 420 West 111th Street in Chicago. 2 years later, on December 4, 2023, two men, Preston Powell alias JB Marley and Anthony Montgomery Wilson alias AJ, were charged in a murder for H-plot in connection to Max's death. While AJ is in custody, JB Marley remains a fugitive, with law enforcement agencies actively seeking his arrest and a $10,000 reward for any info that will lead to his arrest. The story gets even crazier, with Reddit forums pointing out that AJ was at Lil Durk's Aha music video shoot. Less than a month after Stefan Mack was killed, Lil Durk released a music video that seemed to hint at the situation. Now, it looks like the truth is starting to come out. According to newly unsealed court documents, authorities have linked Durk to a murder-for-hire plot. The feds believe Mack's death was an act of revenge for the murder of Durk's brother, D-Thang. The documents also reveal that a federal informant told law enforcement that Lil Durk had been, and still is, offering money to have those responsible for his brother's death taken out. More specifically, he was allegedly paying to target members of the Gangsta Disciples. Disciple that has killed. The evidence against Durk continues to pile, because now the feds have text messages between AJ and JB Marley where the two appear to discuss getting paid by Durkio. In one of the most damning texts, AJ asks, "Did Durk give you that money?" But people turning on him is the least of his worries, because the feds are using his music to prove that he ordered the murders of his rival. Apparently the OTF head honcho was on a self-snitching spree, and according to the feds they can prove it in court. Even though Lil Durk and OTF members are facing long prison sentences for going after their enemies, some of the murders they are suspected of have not been officially linked to them. Until now. In Chicago, many people already know who is responsible, but no arrests have been made in certain cases. One example is the killing of FBG Cash. Word in the streets is that he was targeted for disrespecting King Von's mural. After King Von was shot and killed in 2020, a mural was created in his memory. But his enemies were not willing to let him rest in peace. That is when FBG Cash made a move that would change everything. Take a photo next to the mural showing his middle finger. He posted the photo on his IG and caption it, "Whole world witnessed yo main sniper get his ___." Splack. This stunt did not go down well with Durkio, who dissed Cash in his song Computer Murderers, clearly enjoying the clout. Cash would respond to the disc in his own version of Computer Murderers. The attention was getting to the rapper's head that he went as far as to troll his ops in interviews. In one interview he was asked about his infamous stunt at King Von's mural. FBG Cash later claimed that Lil Durk was the one who told him to do it. In an interview, when asked about taking a picture in front of O Block near King Von's mural, he simply said, "Durk told me to do that." It was only a matter of time before his enemies caught up with him. A warning from Lil Durk on social media gave a clue about what was coming next. Durk posted on Instagram with a clear message: "Do not diss Thing if you like to hang around and chase clout. It will not end well." That message made it clear that trouble was on the way. Reddit seems Durkio knew Cash's weakness, women, and he exploited it. On the 9th of June, 2022, Cash was driving with a female sleeping in the backseat. The rapper stopped at the stop sign on the 1600 block of West 81st when a car cut them off. 3 men jumped out and opened fire. Cash exited the vehicle as he shot back. However, he was shot by his ops, who fled into the night. Cash was later taken to Christ Hospital in Oak Lawn, where he succumbed to his injuries. Word on the street is that he was set up by the woman he was with in the car died. Around 5 o'clock that morning, he was moving recklessly, riding around like everything was fine. Come on, bro, you know better than that. In the streets, people will set you up in a heartbeat. Lil Durk and OTF have a strong reputation to uphold. If you go against one of them, you go against all of them. That is why many believe OTF might have been involved in the deaths of Lil Jeff or Lil Sko. But Lil Jeff was a different kind of problem. His constant dissing and trolling made him a lot of enemies. It was only a matter of time before it all caught up with him. Surprised that many people wanted him gone, from mocking the death of his victims on social media to collaborating with one of the most hated rappers in the country. Lil Jeff was a man on a mission to get as many haters as he could. Why everyone wanted to kill Lil Jeff? One of the reasons Lil Jeff had so many ops hoping to slide on him was his constant mocking of the deaths of 2 teens who he allegedly killed in broad daylight on Friday the 26th of January, 2024. Robert Buston alias Lil Rob and Lil Rob were later pronounced dead at Northwestern Memorial Hospital. Lil Jeff went all out mocking his dead ops, throwing subtle hints on social media claiming the 2 bodies. It's no surprise that his ops wanted him dead, but despite his antics, he was also increasingly getting hate for his association with the self-proclaimed most disrespectful rapper YBC Dull. Rob Do, also known as Mr. Disrespectful, was one of the most controversial rappers ever. His bold lyrics and unapologetic attitude made him not only the most disrespectful artist but also one of the most hated. In an interview, someone mentioned, "I saw a documentary that called you the most hated rapper in Philadelphia. Is that true?" He simply replied, "You already know." YBC Do and Lil Jeff worked on music together, but most rappers avoided collaborating with them. Being associated with these 2 meant putting a target on your back. For Lil Jeff, just having ties with YBC Do was enough to make enemies. His name alone caused problems. The Philly rapper had many enemies, all FCCKFLMG, __, 56th Street FF Belmont, y'all never got back, 38th Street, __, 39th Street, I ain't even going to lie, __, the Dub 2 Kill Parkside Bud Blow for BU all is the real disrespectful, I don't go, __. Who you is I will disrespect you. Sadly, just like Lil Jeff, YBC Do would lose his life in a tragic shooting on August 23, 2024, and just like Lil Jeff, his death was caught on camera for the whole world to see. That day around 3:30 p.m. YBC Do was driving a white Hyundai rental car after picking up a friend from North 6th Street. As he reached a red light on North Fairhill Street, another car pulled up beside him. Suddenly, gunshots erupted as his enemies started shooting, hitting him multiple times. His friend reacted quickly, grabbing the wheel and speeding toward Einstein Medical Center, hoping to save his life. Sadly, YBC Do did not survive. Just like drill rapper Lil Jeff, his habit of disrespecting others had made him a target. YBC Do's reckless behavior eventually cost him his life. As for Lil Jeff, his death during a failed attack may have stopped more violence from happening. Many believe that if he had survived that day, he would have ended up on Lil Durk and OTF's radar. If you liked this story, check out the videos on your screen for more similar content.